What's up, everybody? Here's EA Tech. Welcome to another episode of Power BI. Today, we're going to be talking about how to create and manage relationships in Power BI. So, first of all, I'm going to be loading a new dataset. Go to Get Data, Excel Workbook, choose my dataset. I'm going to be opening it up. On my navigator, I choose the tables that I want to load into Power BI. That is company project and project hours. Now, I've noticed something in my company project table. The column names haven't been properly identified by Power BI. So before I load it into Power BI, I'm going to transform them. Click on Transform Data, go to Company Project, and then I click this icon and choose Use First Row as headers. Now, as you can see, the first rows have been used as column names. So that looks good. I go to project hours table. Everything looks fine. I close and apply the changes. The data has been loaded into Power BI. Now the first table, company project, is a list of projects with an assigned priority. So on the left side, have the name of the project, and then on the right side we have a priority. So let's look at the second table, which is project hours. Project hours is a record of work tickets that record the number of hours. Notice that each table has a column called project. Project hours has a column called project, and company project column also another column which has a different name, project name, but they have same value. Let's create a report. I go back to report view. First thing we want to get is the number of hours submitted by project priority. So we select priority and hours from the fields of project hours. I want to see it in a table view. As you can see, this table doesn't make any sense. That means our tables doesn't have any relationship, so they can't interact with each other. So what we are going to do is we go to model view and we are going to build a new relationship between these two tables. So when we loaded the data into our Power BI report, Power BI couldn't automatically detect the relationship, but we can do it manually. So under the model view, click on manage relationship and then click on new and then select project hours, and Power BI automatically uses the company project table. So let's select project column from project hours and then project name from company project. This side is the one side of our relationship, and this side is the many side of our relationship. So let's accept the default values and click OK and then click close. So let's get back to report view. This looks better and it does make sense. So when we add up the sums of these numbers, we get the total of 250. Now, depending on the type of your tables, the tables can have different type of relationships with each other, so that defines the cardinality. If I go to our model, I can double click on it, and when I click on cardinality, there are different types of cardinalities. So many to one option is the most common default type of relationship. Means the column in a given table can have more than one instance of a value, and the other related table, often known as the lookup table, has only one instance of value. In one-to-one relationship, the column in one table has only one instance of a particular value, and the other related table has only one instance of a particular value. And one-to-many relationship, the column in one table has only one instance of a particular value, and the other table can have more than one instance of a value. And many-to-many cardinality option means that with composite models you can establish many-to-many relationship between tables, which removes requirements for unique values in tables. It also removes previous workarounds such as introducing new tables only to establish relationships. So one thing to remember, you can manage how Power BI treats and automatically adjusts relationships in reports and models. To specify how Power BI handles relationship options, select File, Option and Settings, Options, and then click on Data Load. So as you can see, there is this part called Relationships. There are three options that can be selected and enabled. Import relationships from data source on first load. That means this option is selected by default, and when it's selected, Power BI checks for relationships defined in your data source, such as foreign key, primary key relationships in your data warehouse. So if such relationship exists, they are mirrored in the Power BI data model when you initially load data. The second one is update or delete relationships when refreshing data. The option is unselected by default. If you select it, Power BI checks for changes in data source relationships when your dataset is refreshed. If those relationships changed or removed, Power BI mirrors those changes in its own data model, updating, deleting them to match. Now, the last one is auto detect new relationships after data is loaded. And that means when the data is loaded, it tries to find the relationships automatically. If you deselect it, it's not going to look for any relationships when you load your data into Power BI. So this was a quick introduction into relationships in Power BI. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.